Family is a theme in all three BioShock titles. Finding out Andrew Ryan is your father is embedded into the twist in the first game. Your false memories of a family haunt your character throughout, and the ending attempts to send us off with a message about Jack finding family and the little sisters he saved. Infinite distracts us with multiverse nonsense, but the story is essentially about a father trying to find his daughter again after losing her, and atoning for his sins as a father. For both games, the family themes are entwined with the major twist, but it is my position that neither game does family nearly as well as BioShock 2 does. Where BioShock 1's engagement with the question of family is overshadowed by its excellent setting and great characters, such that its treatment of the subject comes off as an afterthought, BioShock 2 successfully brings everything together. While Infinite has great voice performances for its main characters, it's brought down by bad character and plot writing throughout, and a total loss of focus on the city's ideology and how it relates to the plot. Again, not so for BioShock 2. Many regard BioShock 2 as not even having much of a twist. I'll admit, it's definitely subtler, less dramatic than the original Would You Kindly, but it's there, and it's married quite seamlessly to BioShock 2's engagement with family, ideology, its moral choices, its characters, and its plot. BioShock 2 successfully melds heart and mind. Coupled with the fact that 2 has the best gameplay by far, it's arguably the best game in the series overall. Let's explore exactly what BioShock 2's twist is, and how it connects to all the other aspects of the game in ways that make sense, and compare that to the ways the other two games fail to do so, either by those same aspects being disjointed or unrelated on the one hand, or simply weak on their own terms. BioShock 2's twist isn't earth-shattering the way Would You Kindly was for so many on first watch or play, but it's definitely there, and is a twist in the sense that it recontextualizes and changes the way you view your past actions and what they meant. When Delta reaches Eleanor at long last, there's drama, Lamb trying to stop your heart from beating by suffocating her own daughter. But before that, Lamb reveals how Eleanor betrayed her, by taking your every action as gospel, by watching your every move, every choice as you came to this point, and taking it as gospel. This is a great twist. Suddenly your choices in regards to the prior level's antagonists and the Little Sisters become important again, to the story, and to the outcome of the game's plot. You are acting as a parent, a father, without knowing it. Any player should experience a bit of anxiety, or potentially horror in learning this fact, knowing you'd been shaping Eleanor throughout. And the game then shows the natural consequence. Eleanor will act as you taught her, treating the Little Sisters, Sophia Lamb, and yourself with the same kindness or brutality you showed to others. BioShock 2 is showing us the immense responsibility of parenthood and the weight it represents. Your choices are important, not just in how they directly affect others or yourself, but in how they shape, teach, and set examples for those that look up to you. In this alone, BioShock 2 is successfully engaged with family and parenthood more deeply than either of the other two games, and made its moral choices consequential and directly relevant to the story in a way that BioShock 1 never manages, and Infinite makes no attempt of trying. BioShock 1's engagement with family is gesturing toward something, but it never quite gets there. Atlas asks us to save his fake family. Tenenbaum feels guilt about the children. Ryan ruins many families by turning countless children into little sisters, tearing them from their parents. In the end, Jack gains a family with the little sisters he saves, there with him as he grows old. There are lots of elements there, but it doesn't really mesh all together coherently. They're just ideas. Infinite's engagement with family is limited to the fact that Elizabeth/Anna is Booker's daughter, and that's it. In some sense, the story is about Booker finding her, saving her, bringing her back to him. But the way she's written, the way she behaves, doesn't sell this story. And we waste much of the game's runtime with silly multiverse stuff or political commentary that doesn't go much further than extremism is bad. BioShock 1's endings just kind of arrive, awkwardly showing up after you've killed Fontaine, and they're directly determined by your choices with Little Sisters. But the cause and effect is so much less clear. It's not nonsensical. I could see how Jack choosing to save or kill children could lead to Eler heading to the surface with the saved children, or going on a power-hungry quest for world domination. But it's definitely a pretty vague, unclear connection. The writers wanted to give some sort of happy ending, even if by the terms of its own plot, BioShock 1 didn't really have room for either of the endings yet. The game's end is both dragged out in terms of pacing, while still being rushed and awkward in terms of its writing. BioShock 2 doesn't suffer from any of this, since it uses Eleanor and your moral choices so well, to show us naturally how our choices led us to this point, with 6 different possible good, neutral, or bad endings that come as a result of how we shape Eleanor as a person. BioShock 2's endings are natural and heartfelt. They say things about people, about family, about what it means to be merciful, and all in ways that cohere with the plot and its characters. The proper endings, the good ones, refute Lamb's collectivist ideology and denial of the self as important. That is a critical distinction. It's important to know that the game's story, plot, and characters be engaged in a dialogue with the ideological undercurrent that the game is commenting on. BioShock 2 does this in ways that the other two just don't. The original BioShock's portrayal of free market anarchism and the character who personified it was quite excellent, but it didn't always mesh perfectly with the plot that was driving its protagonist. BioShock Infinite has no ideological commentary, just trite caricatures of theocracy and segregation. So, again, BioShock 2 wins here for having all its elements working together. In the end, heart, family, and love do win out over Sophia Lamb's ideology in BioShock 2, but it's earned. Instead of being rushed, BioShock 2's heart, its emotional elements, are present throughout the game. In fact, it's really family, heart, and love that are the game's answer to Lamb's ideology. Sure, maybe Sophia Lamb sounds kind of wacky, fanatical, but the city is already ruined. It's not really like Rapture was getting much worse with her influence. No, it's really through your moral choices, through guiding Eleanor rightly, through parenting, that BioShock 2 answers Sophia Lamb. So that, in the end, after watching Delta show mercy to the wicked and give bad people second chances, Eleanor can, despite everything, show mercy to Sophia Lamb. In the end, having a family, helping others, serving the common good doesn't mean rejecting your own self, your own ego, your own good, as Lamb wants us to do. It often means seeing all the ugliness of human vice and sin in others, and still choosing to forgive them, knowing that same darkness is a part of yourself. So, one could take as a key lesson from BioShock 2 that we need to see ourselves in others, that we need to recognize that our choices impact others, that everyone has the capacity for good as well as for evil. So, we do not conquer our selfish impulses by eliminating the self. We move past our darkest desires by recognizing humanity in others, just as we would for ourselves. We have to see ourselves in others. This short video essay was adapted from a comment I made on another video, and someone recommended that it be made into a longer form analysis. So, here it is.
If utopia is not a place,
Thanks for listening.
but a people, must choose carefully, for the world is about to change. And in our story, rapture was just the beginning.